which I'm sure is going to be fun for all of us as per usual. Sorry, let me just extend this camera a little bit so I'm fully in shot. Yes, welcome to the live stream tonight for Backlash, WWE Backlash, which was last night. Spoiler alert, it was very, very good. Really enjoyed it. And also, you are cursed. There we go. Yeah, so I'm going to be running through what happened last night. Sorry that there wasn't a live stream afterwards, but as you all know, I've got the dreaded sleep apnea, sadly, and I've decided not to basically do the well, I mean, unless I've got a day off or on holiday, I will probably just be doing this now, at least for the foreseeable future, until plans change. Nudge, wink, wink. I'll probably be just doing reviewing the PLEs like of an evening the day after, to be honest, because look, basically I'm an old man and I just cannot stay up that late anymore. So yes. Also, very, very many apologies for the stream being slightly delayed by let me have a look at my watch. That isn't a watch. 3 hours, give or take. I'm going to be completely honest. I did actually stay up to watch Backlash last night. Um, and basically, I fell asleep and ended up being woken up by Mr. Baby Boy Meta this morning and Mother Meta, who then basically said that I'd had no sleep and politely asked me to leave the living room premises. And then I went to go to sleep. And then, basically, long story short, I fell asleep for most of the day and came downstairs at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So, yeah, it's been a bit of a stress catching up on everything where you've usually got 12 hours to do something, but you end up with 4, but it's fine. Whatever, it's fine. Just to say, as per usual, for subscribers will know this, but this will be on YouTube podcast and YouTube video. I always forget to mention the name of the podcast. So if you go onto the audio link, it's Geek Boy a wrestling story. I also do a Liverpool one, which is where I do my live streams. But basically, any of my live streams end up on either Geek Boy a wrestling story or Geek Boy a Liverpool story, because I am a Liverpool fan who is not hugely happy with life at the minute. But we will avoid talking about Liverpool this evening if we possibly can do. If you do want to talk about Liverpool and like bitch and moan about what's going on at the club, I will be happy to bitch and moan along with you, because it's pretty shit, to be honest. In terms of Backlash, then, you know how I usually prepare like a script and go for all the matches and this, that, and the other. I have done no such thing today, so I'm basically doing this blind. So you're gonna have to bear with me because I need to try and remember the actual match order. Just to start for just to start off with, I thought Backlash was excellent. By the way, you might notice I've got a background for a change. Hopefully, if this works, so those of you who follow me, hey, yeah, how you doing? You all right? Congratulations on winning the league. Those of you who have watched me for a long time know that my background usually consists of a white wall with like a little picture of a boat in the background. I have in fact been given permission by Mrs. Meta and Baby Meta to start doing my live streams upstairs, which means I can now use backgrounds. Yay, there we go. The only trouble with this is sometimes my YouTube craps out, as some of you will have seen, I'm sure, multiple times, and basically YouTube disconnects itself. And yeah, so it's going to have to be a bit of a period of experimentation. This, it looks like my feed's okay at the minute, but yeah, we'll have to see what cracks off. But yeah, theoretically, I should now be doing these maybe a little bit earlier and also upstairs. It's just I need to keep my voice down because I don't want to wake Mrs. Metzer up and get into trouble. But yes, no. Yeah, just to say, yeah, actually, as in the yeah. Um, Oh, that penalty, not penalty, what am I on about? That VAR decision. I get why it was disallowed with the current rules, because it is a foul. Fair enough. I'm trying to think of a polite way of putting this. I started watching football in 1986, and first time I went to a footy match at the Boozer would have been 96, possibly, so I would have been 16, 17 years old, something along the lines. If I if you'd have asked for that decision when I was 12, say 1992, I don't think the decision would have been overturned, to be honest. But obviously, you've got to abide by the rules that are in place. Now, look, it is a foul. At the end of the day, the players come in and like shoulder charge the. Basically, I mean, we're on a WWE stream now, right? I mean, it was practically like a wrestling move, to be fair. But like, I mean, there are other things going on in that penalty box. But look, at the end of the day, Arsenal came in and got the win. That's all they need to do. Basically, to be honest, yeah, in terms of when you play Burnley, um, it's not about racking up goals. It's literally, if I'm Arteta, I'm just saying to the boys next Monday? I'm literally just saying 2-0, the end. Obviously, if you can get 3 and 4s, then fine. But like, honestly, yeah, to be honest, I genuinely don't think. I think you'll win the title next Monday. Just purely for the fact that I don't think Man City are going to beat Bournemouth. I just cannot see them beating them away, which unfortunately for me is not super useful because obviously Bournemouth are getting slightly uncomfortably closer to us at the minute, and also Aston Villa. And I would prefer. And I've got a lot of respect for Bournemouth. I think they do very, very good football, and they've been a fantastic advert for the Premier League. And shout out to Antonio Iraola; he's been absolutely brilliant. I would very much like Bournemouth to, and my son's downstairs with Mrs. Meta, so I'll have to whisper this. I would like Bournemouth to and go away, basically, at this point. I just want that Champions League place confirmed, please. Anyway, but yeah, no. To be honest, Jay, if Arsenal win the next game, I think you've won it. Basically, I don't even think it'll go down to Crystal Palace. I really, really don't. I mean, to be honest, for Arsenal as well, you could probably do with it not going to the last game of the season because Palace away. Say if Arsenal had like 12 more games this season, if I saw Palace away for Arsenal, I would just literally be like, well, look, they'll go win that. That's fine. If it goes to the last day and it's you need to go to Palace and win, I still back Arsenal to comfortably win, but obviously I'm sat here as a fan who's got no interest in it, and obviously now Arsenal fans will be going, "Oh my God, we've got Burnley and Crystal Palace," which is stupid, really, because I mean, with the greatest respect to Burnley, I mean Arsenal should be absolutely battering them 5 or 6 nil, um, at worst, and Palace, I mean, if I'm not much mistaken, in fact, if someone could find out, that would be useful. In fact, I'll have a look on laptop. I think Palace have either got the Conference League final after that match or before that match, one of the two. If it's after the match, I'm sorry, but no offense to Man City, if I'm Ollie Glasner and Crystal Palace, I'm changing the entire team. I wouldn't even put a. I'd put the under 17s out and just say off you go, basically. So, and people have a go at Palace for that. It's not Crystal Palace's business at the end of the day. They need to win the Conference League to get into Europe. So no issue with that whatsoever. Like I said, Man City have got what I mean. They've got an FA Cup final. Who was the other? Bournemouth, Aston Villa. Have Man City got 3 games left or 2 games left? 3 games, I think, isn't it? Um, yeah, I mean Villa and Bournemouth. I think they're going to struggle. So I really wouldn't worry about it, yeah, to be honest. Leon, your predictions of late don't get my hopes up. Yeah, yeah, I was going to say, my, yeah, folks, everything that I've just said, if you are a football fan, completely ignore. My predictions are shocking. Super Six, I don't know if any of you know that from Sky Sports. I used to play Super Six. Um, I don't think, because we used to have a league with my brother, Mrs. Meta, and who else was in it? My mom. Right, so there was 4 of us in this league for about 4 years. I didn't win the league once. Nowhere near. My predictions are just utterly and completely shite, basically. But there we go. Swig of tea for the working man. Mm, there you go. Let's have a look. Come on, you Gunners. We find the clear from City. Needs to be completed with the burning goal. I think it will be, yeah, to be honest. I really think it will be. With Man City taking that knock against Everton and also that happened today, you just get a feeling about things. And look, if Arsenal weren't going to win the league, that moment does not happen today. It maybe it's some sort of cosmic fluke. I don't know, but like title winners get those moments. We had it last season with a couple of decisions that went our way at the end of the day. But there we go. What's your opinion on the Arsenal West Ham game today? Oh, hello, Diamond Hustlers. How you doing, mate? That's a brilliant name, by the way. Very much like Diamond Dallas Page, but slightly different. Anyway, what's my opinion on the game? I didn't see it, so that's not really helpful. But obviously, I've watched the highlights and everything. I thought Arsenal personally deserved to win, in my opinion, just from what I've seen, because I think they had more shots. Than I thought West Ham were, if you're going on pure effort and giving it a go, um, I thought West Ham can count themselves a bit unlucky. They did try their hardest, but I mean, obviously Arsenal have got far. I mean, look, let's have it right. It's difficult for me as a Liverpool fan to say. That's my water, by the way, for the evening. There you go. It's difficult for me as a Liverpool fan to admit this, but obviously you've got to take your hat off to Arsenal. They are the best team in the league. I mean, even if by some utter and complete fiasco Arsenal did manage to lose the league, which I mean, surely they can't have from this position. Um, Even if Arsenal did not win the league, I would still say they've been by far and away the best team. And this nonsense that people come out, look, I don't always particularly like the way Arsenal play Diamond at all, to be honest. But it's none of my business how Arsenal Football Club play. If Arsenal Football Club want to play in the manner in which they do, and there's nothing wrong with it, by the way. This thing of like, oh, they score from set pieces. Yeah, dipshit, that's part of football. Like, what are we doing here? It's like, of course they score from set pieces. That's the nature of football, which has been around for over 200 years. What are you on about? You know what I mean? So I don't agree with all this Arsenal, not hate. I'm trying to think how to phrase it. Choice of tactics. It's like, mate, it's none of your business, to be honest, how Arsenal. But I remember earlier on the season, sorry, folks, I will get on to WB in a minute, but I like going on tangents, as you know. Um, there were a load of Liverpool fans, and I'm a Liverpool fan, critiquing Burnley earlier this season because they put a low block against us, and I do mean a low block. I mean, it might as well have been a building and two skyscrapers in front of that goal. But they wanted to get a nil-nil draw. And they very, very nearly got it, except that Hannibal of Manchester United, which made me laugh, basically just tried to play basketball with the ball in the 96 minutes, and everyone literally looked at him like, mate, what are you doing? Anyway, Salah scores the goal, and afterwards, Liverpool fans, like, not all of us, because I was just like, well, fair enough. A lot of Liverpool fans are like, oh, it's not fair, people shouldn't be playing against us, you should come out and play against us. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, mate, look, if Burnley Football Club wish to try and and I know they've been relegated, so I take the point. If Burnley Football Club want to play 11 men behind the ball at their home stadium in front of their home fans, that's Burnley Football Club's business. The job of Liverpool Football Club is to beat that low block and try and win the match. And if we didn't, that is the fault of one team and one team only, and that is Liverpool Football Club. The end. Simple as that. The point is, Diamond. Sorry, I'm miles beyond the comments. I don't really give a toss how Arsenal play. If Arsenal want to play, I mean, it's not in defence. It's not. This is the other things, but it's not like Arsenal don't go forward and attack. I mean, they're the top scorers, I think, aren't they? I think it's them and Manchester City. I mean, I think Arsenal have scored. Someone told me the other day, I think it was 110 goals. So, I mean, they can't be that defensive, to be completely honest. So, yeah, no, if Arsenal want to. Well, at the end of the day, if Arsenal want to shut up shop with, like, well, I don't know, 15 minutes to go and sit on a 1-0 lead, that's up to them. And if Arsenal mess it up, like it could have gone today, then Arsenal are entitled to do what they want, but if they mess it up and someone scores against them in the 117th minute or something daft like that, if they've been putting 11 men behind the ball for 25 minutes, conversely, that's also Arsenal's fault. Simple as that. But you know what I mean? It's like styles make fights, that famous phrase, and Arsenal have won the league on merit, as far as I'm concerned. That's all I've got to say about that. Seeing this is meant to be a wrestling a wrestling live stream. Oh, there we go. Diamond, do you believe Carrick should get the United job? If not, who should? Yes, mate. To be honest, Diamond. I mean, Man United. I wouldn't say they were nowhere near the Champions League places, but am I right in thinking that Amarim had them seventh or eighth? I think they'd improved a bit under Amarim, but then they started going a bit wonky again. Then he went on that little rant at Ellen Road, which is just over there, by the way, over my shoulder. Not literally over my shoulder, because that'd be weird, right? And Michael Carrick has got them into the Champions League. Simple as. He gets the job for me. And the things as well, people say he hasn't got experience. I mean, it's just simply not true. I mean, been a professional football manager for I don't know, 6 or 7 years now. So yeah, and I mean, frankly, I mean, who else are United going to get at the end of the day? Michael Carrick, again, I hate to admit this as a Liverpool fan, was one of the best midfielders of that Premier League era. In fact, he was probably top five. He's well respected by the players. They seem to be playing a lot better brand of football. He's liked by the fans. I mean, and I don't think it's an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thing. With the greatest respect to Ole, I didn't think tactically he was the best. Obviously, Carrick is very good tactically. And the other thing as well is from, I mean, not that I spend hours thinking about Manchester United, but like, who else are they going to get exactly? I mean, I Xabi Alonso, there was no chance Xabi Alonso would ever go to Manchester United. They can forget about that. I hope, hopefully. By the way, can someone just let me know who's winning between Barcelona and Real Madrid if you've got your phones? Because I haven't set my laptop up yet. In fact, I'll do that now. In fact, I need to put myself on Reddit as well. Sorry, I'm just completely not organised tonight, guys. Yeah, if you can let us know what the Barca score is so I can laugh at Real Madrid, that would be nice. But yeah, I mean, the only other one I could think of, to be honest, Diamond, would be Andoni Areola. I mean, I think he is a fantastic coach. If Arna does go, I personally, I know I will get a lot of Liverpool fans giving me stick for this, but it's just my opinion. I think I would actually prefer Areola to Alonso, just for the fact that there's a lot of Liverpool fans who just want to get Alonso in and get slot out because it'll be a return to the days of Jurgen. And yeah, can probably back me up on this for watching Bundesliga. By the way, yeah, I'll get back to you in a minute with the comments. I watched Borussia Dortmund against Freiburg, I think it was on Friday night. How good was that game? It was on like British TV and everything. It was. I tell you what, that's probably one of the best matches I've seen this season. The defending from both teams wasn't to the finest standard, I have to say. But you know what, I really like watching the Bundesliga. So, yeah, shout out to Dortmund. Um, why was I talking about Borussia Dortmund before? So this is another thing I do, guys. I go on tangents and then forget my way back up the yellow brick road, basically. But yeah, no, Diamond. Just to finish, I mean, if it's not Michael Carrick, it's going to have to be Areola. I mean, I can't think of anyone. I mean, yeah, you could go for a Nagelsmann, but if Nagelsmann wins the World Cup with Germany, which I wouldn't rule Germany out. I mean, I don't think Germany are favourites by any stretch, but you definitely have them in the top 4 or 5, favourites with the quality of players they've got. If he wins the World Cup, I mean, basically, he's going to be a hero in Germany for the rest of his life. So, would he then go to a Premier League team? I mean, I don't know. Um, Outside of Nagelsmann and Iriola, I just don't know if there's a fit for Man United. So, yeah, I would personally go with Carrick, but I hope Manchester United appoint someone wildly incompetent and they return to their or our excuse me, our glory days of being able to laugh at them, which I can't do anymore because they have just beaten us twice. So yes, there we go. Anyway, yeah, let's be real. Again, we could have played better. Just look at opportunity. I love my boys, but they need to pull the bloody socks up. Well, yeah, that's the thing. To be honest, I mean, like I said, yeah, we didn't play very well last season. Like quite a few of the games, to be honest. I mean, not as bad as this season, obviously, but quite a few of the games. I mean, I remember the Bournemouth game; they were absolutely bloody all over us. I mean, and we won that match 2-0. I mean, really, I mean, Bournemouth should have been winning the match, let alone drawing. So, I mean, we had a lot of luck last season, and one where we were playing badly. And that's what you do as champions. That's what United did. That's what the old school Arsenal used to did with obviously Henri and Tony Adams and Stevie Bold and Dixon and Winterburn and all them people. Um, but that's what you have to do. So if Arsenal win 1-0 against Burnley, yeah, it does not matter. You just need to win the two football matches and you are league champions. No messing about, just go and win the two games. And like I said, I think Arsenal will be champions a week on Monday when they play Burnley. I just don't see Man City beating Bournemouth. I think City will probably think to themselves, right, let's just win the FA Cup, because don't forget they've got that this weekend where Arsenal are sat like doing whatever young people do these days. Um, yeah, Arsenal could sit with their feet up, have a laugh at Man City, And if Man City win the two trophies, look, the fans will be obviously disappointed they haven't won the league, but at the end of the day, you can't really take the mick out of them because it's Man City fans could quite rightly turn around and say, "Well, yeah, we finished second place, won the League Cup, and won the FA Cup, so yeah, whatever." I mean, look, we did that many years ago, and I was bloody thrilled with that. I thought it was because I remember a lot of Liverpool fans were gutted we didn't win the Champions League and the league, and I was like, guys, I'm not being funny. We've just got to European Cup final, finished second, and won two trophies. Like, I was watching us lose to Bristol City in the FA Cup about 30 years ago, 3-0 at Anfield. Like, you honestly, the younger people don't know how bloody good they've got it. But yeah, there we go. Yeah. Thank you, yeah, for that. Like and subscribe, Mr. Mess. Thank you. Hello, Lily. How you doing? You all right? Tottenham tears has been my joy. The past seasons, Tottenham have gotten onto us, but now, well, that's the thing. That is the thing, Lily, and that is the thing. Yeah, the one bad thing that you've done today, you've basically just saved Tottenham Hotspur from being relegated. It's kind of like I don't know if you guys have seen that GIF of when Ralph Hasenhüttl was in charge of Southampton. He goes mental on the touchline when Southampton scored, and then he suddenly realised something. He's like, and then he goes like that, and it kind of reminded me of that. It's just like, yeah, we're really really pleased we're about to win the league, and it's like, yeah, Tottenham stays up. Oh, mind you, though, to be fair, Tottenham are actually playing. In fact, guys, because I'm very curious. I'm just going to check who's won the Barca game. I promise, guys, I will get onto WWE shortly. Um, let's have a look. Yes, get in. Right, for those of you who are interested, it is Barcelona 2, Real Madrid nil, with half an hour to go. And basically, as long as Barcelona do not lose from that point, they will be champions, and Real Madrid will have to stand there and applaud them in what is the new camp, which, to quote Thanos, puts a smile on my face. Yeah, I'm not a Real Madrid fan, to be honest. Very, very scarring. Anyway, let me have a look. Yeah, spot on. Thank you, Diamond. That has been bittersweet today. West Ham out and they remain bittersweet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Diamond. Yeah, yeah. Cheers. Yeah. Madrid are losing. Thank you very much, guys. That is very, very useful. I'm not even going to respond to that one. So sorry, guys. I'm going to. Sorry, you've had to put up with whoever that moron was. Yeah, sorry guys. I don't know. I do attract some weirdos. Well, like my wife, for example. I didn't check actually before I sent that. I think she's just said goodbye to my son. I hope she has done, 'cause she might have just heard that. Oh well, whatever. She's a bit. Let me have a look. Which is better, WWE or LFC? Liverpool, mate. Absolutely. Look, to be honest, I won't go through the whole story again because my dad and this, that, and you've heard it like a million times now. But obviously, Liverpool do mean like so much to me. Just look, not just in terms of winning trophies and stuff. If you want to just win trophies every single year, guaranteed, with the greatest respect, you can go and support Man City, a team in the Saudi Pro League, Paris Saint Germain. I would say Bayern Munich, but they went through a couple of years without winning the trophy, didn't they? But yeah, but you know what I mean. You go and support one of them if you're just a trophy counter. If I was a trophy counter, to be honest, I would have sacked Liverpool off in the 90s well before then because we did not win anything in the well. We won an FA Cup and League Cup, but then we went. I think it was 2012. We beat Cardiff City for the League Cup. Our previous trophy was 2006, where we beat West Ham on a penalty shooter, and our next trophy after the Cardiff result was funnily enough, the Champions League against Tottenham. That was one trophy in like, God, my maths is dreadful. How long was that? 13 years. And like Liverpool means a hell of a lot more to me than that. Yes, obviously, look, I'm not going to sit here and like be a complete hypocrite. Would I like Liverpool to win shitload of trophies? Of course I would do. Of course I would. I would be delighted to do a Celtic for several years, to be honest, and just lord it up. But like, Liverpool are never going to be one of them teams. Never, ever, ever. Not in my lifetime, anyway. Hmm. Although, um, according to a branch of our supporters that I like to call live formers, Let's see what I did there. We should currently be making our preparations to have the title parade for our second title, number 21, on the Strand in 2 weeks' time, because we were going to be Premier League champions, I believe. What was it, by December, which would allow us to rest our players. Also, from the people that thought Luis Diaz was shite. Yes, to quote the Queen in the Minions, and how's that working out for you? Bloody idiots, honestly. But yes, there we go. I don't mean to abuse my own fan base, but I mean, literally, we honestly, we signed these as converts. I mean, the amount of people basically said there were bookies closing the bets, and I was just like, what? I'm like, what is going on here? It's like, well, we've got these converts. It'll be even better. And it's like, guys, that doesn't mean you're going to win the league. You know what I mean? Honestly, it still annoys me to this day. And anyone who thinks that Luis Diaz isn't one of the best players in the world, you, sir, are a bit of a Richard. Let me have a look. Sorry, I'm just putting this on Reddit. By the way, I'm a shameless self-promoter. So if you would like to follow me on Reddit, I am. What am I? Liverpool. I am. You know that slash on Reddit. I'm slash, and then it's a. God, I'm so useless. It's a small r, not a small arse. Small r slash as in that way, and then it's the Anfield Geek, funnily enough. And what is my basically, if you go on there, I've got like a load of different communities. So I've got AEW, WWE, I've got a comic book one, uh like a geeky one, and this, that, and the other. And how to put this, a couple of satiric political ones, without wishing to mention my political affiliations. Well done, Hannah. Anyway, moving swiftly on. There we go. Right. Sorry, guys. I'm still miles behind the questions. I will get to WWE, by the way. Let's have a look. Do you believe, as a Liverpool fan, that Slot should get the sack or needs more time? Diamond, literally, I have. Because I do a lot of writing, because of my GAD and anxiety and panic attacks. Basically, there's a lot of shit that I need to get out of my head, basically. And I used to struggle. This is a bit. I am ranting your question. It's a bit of a roundabout way of answering it. I used to struggle with all the stuff in my head. It was like getting to the point where I couldn't contain it all. This, that, and the other. And then there was one day I saw this advert for Substack. And I thought, what Substack? And basically, you can go on it and like write articles and this, that, and the other, providing you're not, I don't know, racially abusing people and this, that, and the other. You can write whatever you want, essentially. And I started writing about Liverpool, and then I suddenly realised I could, I shouldn't really be admitting this actually, but on Reddit, I usually write like columns after Liverpool finish playing. And I suddenly thought to myself, why am I writing two columns? I could just copy and paste what I've done and tart it up a little bit on Substack. So, if should any of you actually be reading these articles and think there is a like bloody hell, they seem quite similar. Yeah, it's because they're the same article, just slightly better presented. Anyway, um, one of the things I've been writing about Diamond is I feel, and I'm not expecting all Liverpool fans to feel this way. Every Liverpool fan's different. Every football fan's different. I feel incredibly guilty about wanting Arna to be replaced. And yes, I'm going to be honest. I think it's probably time. And I feel completely ungrateful because Arne Slot, in 2 years, this is just the 2 years, not even 2 years, has replaced Jurgen Klopp, hardest job in football. He's won the Premier League. He's got us to a League Cup final. He should just about be qualifying for us for the Champions League. Please God. But more importantly, he led the club with absolute distinction and as a gentleman when Diogo Jota and Andre Silva lost their lives. And he deserves huge credit for that. I don't think people actually realise how. I mean, look, not as tough for Root, his wife, and his like beautiful children and everything. Obviously, and shout out to Root. Yeah, you'll never walk alone. Us Liverpool fans will always be here for you. But I don't think anyone has the slightest idea of how difficult that would have been for Arna. I mean, let alone him looking after the players. It's one of his players that he's coached for a year who's just basically died. and he's expected to be the figure. And to be fair, Arna's been absolutely fantastic with it, and he is a gentleman as far as I'm concerned. I have no ill will towards Arna Slot. He gave me one of the greatest days of my life when I was really struggling with my GAD diagnosis and anxiety and panic attacks. And one afternoon where I kind of thought, I don't particularly want to be here anymore, which was a bit rough. Um, and I can't repay that man ever for that afternoon that he gave me. There is half a chance, probably a slim chance, but there's half a chance if Liverpool don't win the league, then maybe I'm not sat here talking to you now. So I feel so guilty now about maybe wanting Arna to go. Look, the only way that he can turn it round, to be honest, Diamond, for me is like someone has to sit Arna down and say, look, next season, when Ekatike's fit, you have Hugo Ekatike, Alexander Isak, Florian Wirtz, you have Jeremy Frimpong, you have Dominic Szoboszlai, you have Milos Kerkez, you have Alexis McAllister, and you have Ryan Gravenberg. And you've still got back from injury. You've got Jaden Dans. This Will Wright looks really, really decent for the under 21s. And obviously, you've got young Rio Ingamoa. You need to go and attack next season. Like, forget the defence stuff. If the defence falls to pieces, tough. We'll just have to work our way around it. But basically, they need to just very quickly, Diamond, because basically, long story short, basically, just to wrap that bit up, yes, I think he probably has to go, but the only way he can save himself now is by playing attacking football. It's simple as that. I'm not saying Kevin Keegan 1995 or anything like that, but he does need to start playing attacking football. What annoys me is the fact that we have flying fullbacks in Frimpong and I forgot his name, Kirkes. So for me, straight away, you've got Allison, you've got Virgin, you've got Canate. Obviously, they can't be spending all the time in the opposition penalty area. They have to defend a bit, but at least in the home match, they need to be as far up the field as possible. Frimpong is rapid. Milos has got a good turn of pace in him. Just let them go, basically. Um, if they go forward, you drop Ryan Gravenberg back in when they're going forward. Simple as that. Or Adam Wharton, should he sign? I think Wharton would be an excellent signing, so I think he'd give us a lot of midfield control. Um, and then basically you just play. Obviously, you do sensible things. So if Frimpong and Milos are bombing forward, you basically say to Szoboszlai, right, you join the attack, or Szoboszlai, you drop back a little bit, and Alexis, you go forward. And then up front, I mean, for the life of me, like, I don't understand why we've just spent 120 odd million quid on Florian Wirtz, who is one of the best players in the world as far as I'm concerned. Just give him a free roll. And people say, "Oh, you can't do it because of tactics and it's all about formations." It's like, shut up, will you? Um, Back in the day, you didn't tell Paul Gascoigne or John Barnes or Gianfranco Zola or Roberto Baggio or like Romario or people like that or Ronaldinho or Lionel Messi. You didn't tell people like that, oh yeah, you've got to stick to formation, you can't be doing any of those tricks, and they're not going to help us win the league. Absolute rubbish beyond words. I'm not suggesting for a minute that Florian Wirtz can just tit about for like 1.5 hours and just do kick ups in the centre. I'm not suggesting that at all. But at the end of the day, the man's there as our chief creator. Go and let him cook. Simple as that. And then you just play Florian Wirtz behind the front two. And when he's fit, you can either have Isak and Rio Ingamoa, at least the first half of the season. Ingamoa should start every single game. He's a talent. It's as simple as that. And basically, you rotate Hugo Ekatike. And I'm sure we'll be getting some more players as well. Obviously, we've signed Jeremy Jacquet and Leone and people like that. But they will definitely get another striker. So you just rotate them in and out. And that's it in a nutshell. And I'm not a tactician by any stretch of the imagination. I'm a big fat lad who drinks beer and watches Liverpool and shouts at the TV screen. But look, that formation to me is so obvious. And the other thing that you can do that Arnold refuses to do, which infuriates me, is you do a 3-5-2. If you're worried about defensively, you have Frimpong and Milosh. Obviously, Ali in goal or Mamadashvili. And then you have back three, Kanate, Jeremy Jacquet when he's fit, or Leone, Virgil van Dijk. And then you play a three in midfield You could either have Verts behind a one or Verts behind a front two. You put Verts in midfield, kind of still a free role, but maybe a bit more responsibility. You lob Gravenberg in, Sobersley, or again, if Adam Wharton is going to sign, he's your DM, job done. And then you just play it up front. You put Rio Ingamoa up front, and Rio creates for Alexander Isak. And if we are getting hammered, then you just ask Florin to drop back in on the very few occasions we get hammered. And I've just solved Liverpool's problems in the space of I don't know, 3 or 4 minutes of waffling on. The other thing that really annoys me, Diamond, and sorry, I will come off this in a second, but obviously I've written about the Lucho Diaz situation as has unfortunately poor person had to listen to me waffle on about this for weeks now. But I mean, the decision to sell Luis Diaz it was a nonsense, an absolute nonsense. I said it at the time, and I maintain it to this day. Um, if you went into a boozer and some fella came up to you, two things in his hand, one ticket that said Antoine Semenyo, Mark Gahey, and a new contract for Luis Diaz. In this hand, bearing in mind what we know now, or in this hand, I have Alexander Isak for the same price. Plus you are paying five quid, 5 million quid more than the deal that gets you free. I mean, and I don't mean that disrespectfully towards Alexander Isak. It's not his fault he's been injured. I'm sure he'll become all right. But if you were to ask anyone with a brain at the moment what decision they would take, I mean, I'd be astonished if it wasn't a 90 to 10% split. But yes, there we go. So yes, Diamond. Sorry to answer your question. Basically, yeah, unless he can start playing some decent football again. Mate, yeah, Ahmad says she can get rid of trolls comments that spanned. Yes, cannot stand Madrid. Yeah, I'll have to. Well, yeah, I was going to say when I make it big and famous, yeah, it's going to like be my accountant and do all the accounting stuff. And just make sure I don't spend all my money and stop me from drinking and things like that. So yeah, that's going to be Yair's job. I haven't told that yet, but still. Let's have a look. Lily, the way Rashford has been playing, I could see him wearing an England shirt for the World Cup. He's got a chance, Lily. He's definitely got a chance. Look, I mean, obviously he's tearing it up in the well, not tearing it up, but I mean he's doing very well over that. I mean, it's going to be interesting now with Carrick being in charge. I mean, obviously him and Rashford get on reasonably well. I mean, I wonder if Carrick's just thinking to himself, do you know what? Actually, Sesko Embuemo. I've forgotten the other guy. Oh my god, Matthias Cunha and Rashford rotating. I don't know. I don't honestly don't know if there's too much water under the bridge, but I mean, I'd probably suggest United will have to think about it. But if I'm Rashford, like if Barcelona want to take me up, and if United offer him it, I think Barcelona, if it's something like 30 million quid, Barcelona will pay it. But it just depends if Man United's going to be stupid and say we want 100 million because then Barcelona will be like, no, you're all right. But yes, there we go. Mrs. Meta boxing word. Yeah, I was going to say that's the problem with being upstairs now. Yeah, she'll be able to hear everything I'm saying. Let's have a look. Well, I mean, mind you, the wife is like the queen of the house. She knows all and sees all in the house. So anything I do say, she'll hear anyway. To be honest. In fact, Mrs. Meta told me off about something earlier. What did she tell me off for? Yeah, I don't know. I was listening to it, then mine got taken off somewhere, so I can't actually remember. Anyway, Rashford is decent. Yep. Yeah, Rashford has been playing average in the Prem, but since he started playing in the Liga, he's back to himself when he was actually playing well. Yeah, no, yeah, like I said, Lily, fair play. Obviously, I hate admitting that as a Liverpool fan to be because the amount of times Rashford scored, I mean, bloody, he must have scored about 10, 12 times against us now, and it's bloody infuriating. But no, he is doing well. I mean, on a very big side note, and again, folks listening on podcast, I promise I will get onto Backlash. It's definitely coming. It'll be better than the other night where I was meant to talk about AEW and suddenly looked and I was like, I've been talking for 110 minutes and I haven't actually mentioned anything about the subject that I'm actually meant to be talking about, but never mind. It's fine, it's fine. The England thing, to be honest, Lily, and yeah, does not worry me because, as you know, that's my national team now. I mean, look, I'm not saying I don't want England to do well. Obviously, I hope they do well, and for my mates and everything, I'll be really excited if they won the World Cup. I won't go into this too much. It- How does one put this? I wish England all the best as in the players. I have no problem with the players whatsoever. There's a couple of Richard heads in there, but I mean, you're always going to get that. It- some of the supporters that England have, if you take away the supporting England aspects, would not be the sort of people that I would wish to spend any sort of personal time with, nor have my son anywhere near. And because a lot of those people are becoming a lot more prevalent in the world that we live in, it's difficult for me to get behind England as much as I could have done back in the day. I'm sure you know what I'm getting at, but yeah, it's just a difficult thing. But obviously, Ghana was my old fella's team, so I'm more attached to Ghana anyway. But the England thing does worry me, to be honest, because I mean, Tuchel at the minute, I mean, it, it's like Thomas. This World Cup starts in a month, and you haven't taken Trent Alexander-Arnold. And look, I'm no lover of him for obvious reasons, but I mean, he is class. Whatever you said. Jude Bellingham's hardly been in the squad. He's flirted with not putting Phil Foden in the squad. Now apparently there's some sort of issue with Cole Palmer, and I mean this is always the problem that England have had. Germany take their best players, Holland take their best players, um, Portugal take their best players, and so on and so forth. And Italy used to do back in the day before they turned into shite basically. And this has been happening for England since I was a fan of that. I mean, some of the people that we have not taken over the years, I mean, it borders on lunacy. And if Tuchel decides not to take Phil Foden, Jude Bellingham, Trent Alexander, and God forbid Cole Palmer, I mean, he needs his head examining. I mean, what are we doing? They are four of England's best players. I mean, look, I can understand maybe if he said, look, Trent has not been good enough, but he takes the other three. Fine, I can just about live with that. But I mean, potentially not taking all four of them is absurd. And the other thing is as well, and obviously no offense to this Max Dowman kid looks good, and I have no doubt he'll be at the Euros. Definitely, definitely, definitely. I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with Dowman going, but say if he was to, I don't know, for argument's sake, let's say if Dowman went and the lad from Villa, Morgan Rogers, and let's say Cole Palmer didn't because he was taking Dowman, I would just be like, mate, come on, don't be ridiculous. Um, So yeah, I don't think England will do very well, and this might bite me on the arse. I think England will probably beat Ghana because obviously it goes without saying they've got a better team than us. I I don't think they'll have it easy against us at all. I really don't. Hmm. For anyone interested, it's still 2-0 to Barcelona. They are 8 minutes from being crowned champions. There we go. Let's have a look. No waffling goes on here. Just fast. Yeah, just fast. Not sure I can keep the wine build up. Well, I was going to say yeah. I had my intake of let's put it this way, it was a very good job I wasn't live streaming on Friday. I'll just leave it at that. I think I turned up at 3:30 in the morning or something like that, and yeah, it was a bit messy. Anyway, let's have a look. Anyone here for wrestling? Apologies. That is fine. Yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get to it eventually. Yeah, wrestling has always been a love of my. There we go. My dream is to become a WWE superstar. I remember you saying, Lily. Yes, I hope you've made some progress on that as well. Have you looked into any training schools? Hmm. My dream is to become a WWE superstar by the time I'm 21. I've been training since I was 7 and was taking part in wrestling competitions up and down. Nice one, Lily. I hope you really, really do well. Oh no, sorry, Lily, you've answered this here, haven't you? Next year, I'm moving in with my dad over in the US that I can continue my journey. That is fantastic, Lily. Well, from a very selfish point of view, if you do um, make it as a WWE superstar, could I please interview you on this channel? Yeah, don't forget your mates. But yeah, no, if you do, actually, no, to be honest, Lily, actually, if you do, I mean, there's not much I could do to help, obviously, but if you do anything, I don't know, your first matches and whatever, um, and you want like a, you know what I'm trying to say. If you want me to like publicise it and stuff, obviously I've got all my Reddit communities. I've got Blue Sky, Threads, Insta. Obviously, I've got two Facebook accounts, and I've got YouTube as well. So obviously, if you want anything publicising, just send us a message and give me a shout, and I will try and help you with that if I can. And like I said, if you do become famous, please can I have an interview? Thank you. There we go. There we go. Speaking of guys, WWE, right? I'm just going to very briefly come on the come off the comments. Let's have a look. I don't know why I'm looking at my thing because I didn't write any information. Yeah, the only thing I wrote down last night was Bron Breakker versus Seth Rollins. There we go. Right, I'm gonna have to do this from memory. So this is going to be interesting. Right, first match was Bron Breakker against Seth Rollins. I thought it was very, very good, very high level, entertaining match. Two absolute masters of the craft. I thought it was very, very good match indeed. I did say last night in my shorts, I've just got the feeling Bron and Seth might themselves, just because they are two of the best wrestlers in the world. I just wonder if they might be saying, "Do you know what? I wouldn't mind giving that another go because we could have done a bit better." That's not me critiquing them; it's me thinking what they might think. By the way, the thing of the botch, it's like, yes, guys, I saw it. It happens sometimes, but they adjusted it at the end of the day. Look, it was just a slip. Seth kind of goes to do a move and basically kind of falls out of Bron Breakker's arms. It was a little bit weird, but like, look, it happens. It happened to LA Knight the other day. It's happening in AEW. It's happened all over the place at the end of the day. The ropes are slippy at the end of the day. I mean, it happened to poor Sol Ruka the other day as well, which I felt so sorry for her on that. But it just happens. It's one of these things. But no, I thought it was an excellent match. I thought it was the right decision to have Bron Breakker go over because, look, he is going to be, well, literally the next big thing. Obviously, he's with Heyman now. What Rawlins does, I don't know. I would quite like to see Rawlins go elsewhere now in terms of his feuds. I mean, they did sort of telegraph the Roman Reigns thing because they have interacted with each other, and Seth does keep mentioning about the WWE title, and the Universal title. I definitely think there's a Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins match. Maybe not SummerSlam, but I could imagine it happening at Money in the Bank or something along that. I mean, might even happen at the European Tour. By the way, another cheap plug, Claxon. I will be going to see WWE live in Liverpool in what day are we on today? Is it the 10th? In 17 days' time, I will be at the M&S Bank Arena in Liverpool for. Uh, Shout out to Finn, by the way. By the way, as well, um, if you fancy, excuse me, folks, watching some very, very cool wrestling stuff with a creator who is far better than me because he's young and knows how to put videos together, and I'm a giant fat man who's got like a light basically shining next to a phone, and that's all I could do for a background, which is actually good for me. I would thoroughly recommend Finn does WWE. Finn's an excellent lad. He does lots of content. I watched his Backlash preview the other day, which was excellent. And he knows how to make backgrounds and young people stuff that I have. Even though Finn has explained this to me, I have no idea still, and I had to show my son what Finn put on the phone the other day, and my son was just like, "Yeah, Dad, you just do that," and I'm like, "Can you show me, please?" And this 46-year-old man asking his bloody 13-year-old lad to do a background for him. But yes, there we go. But yeah, shout out to Finn. But Finn was. Why was I mentioning Finn for? Sorry, Finn, I've got no idea. I've completely lost my train of thought. Probably because it's getting quite late, actually. I'll come back to it if I can remember. Why was I mentioning Finn for? Nope, completely forgot. But yes, no, Breaker and Rawlins was very good. Like I said, I'd probably, if I do grades like a 7 out of 10, I thought maybe the match could have been a little bit better, but I mean the ending was very, very good. The spears were really good. Rawlins selling was really good. The way he got fired up towards the end, very, very good. And obviously they're just two master technicians in the ring, so fair play. That was a really good start to the match. Sorry, the night even. The next match, this is where I am going to struggle because I cannot remember what the second match was. Right, Danhausen. Oh, of course. Trick Williams against Sami Zayn was next for the American title. Can I just say, in fact, I need to put this on my. If you just bear me a second, I need to put this on my match of the year little thing. And yes, I am that much of a weirdo that I am actively writing down wrestling matches during the course of the year so I can do a top 10, which I know is really sad, but you know, I'm 46, so I do stuff like that. Let me just put this down. Trick Williams and Sami Zayn and yeah, there we go. Right, this match was magnificent, folks. I absolutely loved it. Like I said, I've literally just said it's in my top 10. Legit, it is in my top 10 for this year. I love this feud. Can't explain why. There's just something about Zayn and Williams that is. It's like WWE have landed on gold accidentally because I don't think this was ever thought out. But these two together are brilliant. They are absolutely brilliant. Trick is just amazing. His presentation and everything. I mean, I'm starting to get Rock vibes from him a little bit. I'm not suggesting he's Dwayne the Rock Johnson. Please do not what's that thing? Clip me or anything like that. I'm not suggesting that at all. He does remind me a little bit of early Rock. And I'm not saying that Trick Williams has ripped the Rock off, by the way, either, but just in terms of his charisma and the way that, like, when an interviewer is asking him something, you can tell that stuff. He's not obviously he's given bullet points like all wrestlers are, but you can tell that's just top of his head. He's such a good worker in the ring, though, for a big lad as well. And also, yes, unfortunately, I had the unfortunate thing to show Mrs. Meta a picture of Trick Williams. Shouldn't have done that, really. I'll do an impression of her. Yeah. Anyway, Sami Zayn, I would just like to say Sami Zayn, heel of the year so far. In fact, I'm going to put that on my little list as well. Heel. Yeah, there we go. I thought I think Sami Zayn's even heel work has been absolutely outstanding. It's the best heel turn of the year for me. Just the way he's done it. It's not just been, no, I'm a heel. It's just the way he's just gradually chipped and chipped and chipped. And the nuance of his character and his cadence and the way he talks to the crowd and the way he's so patronising, but he still maintains a little bit of a babyface thing in him as well. I think it's been fabulously well done. So just Sami Zayn, if you are watching for some reason, I'm sure you're not. If you are, mate, absolutely bloody brilliant. I thought the match was superb. I would love to see those two in the ring again. Yeah, as many times as you want. Cannot say enough about that feud and the heel work of Sami Zayn's shots. Then next we had Danhausen. Uh, I mean, Jesus Christ, you are cursed. Which basically me and my family just go around the house saying that all because we all love Danhausen. Even Mrs. Meta loves Danhausen. We were literally just watching him before I came on for about half hour. The thing with the mini Housens, I mean, I've just shown my son, and I mean, he was nearly wetted himself. It's one of the funniest things I've ever. It's just the way that Kit Wilson turns around and basically is engulfed by all these people, basically, and you just see Kit Wilson's arm sticking out of all these mini houses, going help, help, help. And the thing with the bit, I mean, Miz is brilliant. I mean, the Miz must have watched Benny Hill because he's comic timing. I know the Miz gets a lot of stick, but I mean, he's so good. He is so good. The bit with the fire extinguisher. I mean, it was just slapstick. I mean, you just looked and you just like, that's so stupid, but it's so brilliant at the same time. And Kit Wilson with the reverse mirror, reversing the car. I mean, I just thought in terms of a wrestling match, obviously, not the finest wrestling match I've ever seen, but it just in terms of pure entertainment, making people happy. I mean, Danhausen is. I mean, he's got to be the most popular wrestler in pretty much in the world now at the minute. I mean, his merch sales. Do some research on it. His merch sales are outrageous. We're not talking Austin 316 just yet, but I mean his T-shirt sales are absolutely. I mean, I'm astonished that WWE have not brought a figure out yet. In fact, I'm going to have a very sneaky look at that. Oh, here we go. Marcus Rashford scores as Barcelona beat Real Madrid in El Clasico to win La Liga. There we go. And might I say, Hala King Real Madrid. There we go. That's a I can go from quite a quite intelligent bloke to being completely immature just like that. Oh yeah, that was. I was just going to quickly look at Dan Housen figures because obviously he's got his AEW figures. I'm just wondering whether he's got a. He does seem to have one. Maybe it's just not got to the U. But when that hits the UK, the Danhausen figure, I mean, it's going to be a huge, huge seller, a huge seller. Um, I have already been asked by a certain mini person who is sleeping downstairs if he can have a figure. To which I have said as long as I can have one as well. But yes, there we go. So yeah, the Danhausen thing was what it was. I thought it was hilarious. Next, we had Mr. John Cena coming out in his suit again. I know this is a bit of a random thing. Like, John, can you just come out in your jorts? And I never thought I'd say that. The whole suit thing is. I know Cena wears a suit all the time, but this is like WWE, and it's a bit not weird, but it's kind. Yeah, John, just please wear some jorts. But I guess if he went back to his jorts, then people would think he's on retiring and this, that, and the other. I mean, the crowd were actually chanting one more match at him last night, but he made this random announcement saying that there's going to be a John Cena Classic, which I thought there would be. I thought they'd make it into a pay per view, so that's the way that they can keep John in WWE and get viewing figures up, yada yada yada, blah blah blah. No dates as to when it is yet, but I'm assuming it's going to be every December, maybe. I don't know. Because obviously John's last match was what was it, December the 12th, I think. The one thing I didn't get, and maybe there are some people in the comments tomorrow or anything like that when this obviously downloads, I didn't get the whole thing of how the fans can vote. It sounded very much like I think it was Taboo Tuesday that they used to do. You know, back in the day when we first got the internet and you had to use that stupid dial-up thing to like vote for people, and you actually had to like ring in, which I'm sure the young people don't get. But young people out there, if your parents haven't told you this, we used to have this thing called a telephone, right? Which in most houses was either put on a table or tied to the wall. And what you do is they'd have these buttons on it, and you would type in the buttons, and it would ring basically. And we even had these things called phone boxes. Think Doctor Who, but not a TARDIS. Um, yeah, and like I didn't quite understand. So I think what John was saying was, even if someone has lost in the tournament, so I'm taking this to mean that this is going to be like a month-long tournament, just like the match for Cena was. But then people are saying, well, they can vote for who was the best in the match. But then it's like, well, obviously the vote's going to be rigged because if you put, I don't know, for argument's sake, if you put like Roman Reigns and CM Punk in this tournament and put them against Dragunov and I don't know, Carmelo Hayes, for example, and Carmelo and Dragunov for some reason win, then everyone's just going to ring up and say, well, yeah, we want CM Punk and Roman Reigns. So that I didn't. I'll do some research on that. I'll see if because I might do a Substack on that as well, actually. But leave that one with us because I didn't quite understand that. It was at that point 1:30 in the morning, and I'd also been drinking lots of Southern Comfort, so that might be the reason I didn't understand. To be fair, after that there was Oscar versus Io Sky. I have no review. Just wow, incredible match. In fact, that's going to go on the list as well. I thought both women were absolutely superb. Gutted that Oscar seems to be going. That seems really random. I hope she's not going. I don't know if it's got something to do with Kyrie Sane. I don't know if it's got something to do with the 50% drop that WWE are asking wrestlers to take. Maybe I don't know. Tony Khan's been in Oscar's ear. Maybe her and Kyrie are going to turn up in AEW. I don't know, but that is if Oscar's one of the people that they're asking for a 50% pay cut. I mean, I don't understand that. She's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I mean, how completely ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how many of these wrestlers are taking pay cuts. It really doesn't help when Nick Khan, who is the like main CEO dude of WWE, awards himself an extra $10 million, and apparently so is Triple H. I can't speak on the Triple H thing because I don't know if he has, but there seems to be rumors that Nick Khan is helping himself to the pig's trough, shall we say? And if I'm some of the wrestlers, I'm like, right, well, I can get paid more than this. A lot of the WWE wrestlers, if they're taking 50% pay cuts, in all seriousness, would probably make more in the Indies. Karrion Cross is making a fortune at the minute on the Indies, an absolute. He's probably making more than he's in WWE. And again, I can't speak to Karrion. Maybe he's not. I don't know. But like, I, yeah, I I'll be really upset if Oscar goes, to be honest, because I was gutted about Kyrie as well. But yeah, it did look a bit like a goodbye last night. I'd be very interested to see where Io Sky goes from here as well, because obviously it's going to be more difficult for. I mean, she's super over. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have split her and Rhea Ripley up. You don't split up a good thing. I know WWE wants to keep it, keep evolving and like mixing up the roster, but like the Io and Rhea thing really works. You didn't need to split them up. For me, Rhea Ripley should not be on SmackDown either. Um, she's one of their blue chip players, as the Americans would say. Um, she should be on Raw. That to me does not make any semblance of sense. But still, anyway, I thought the match, like I said, for Kyrie, Io Sky and Oscar, I thought it was excellent. So shout out to both women. It was brilliant, brilliant contest. And what else was there? There was a mention about Triple Mania, I believe. I do want to start watching Triple A because obviously WWE show it for free. We get it in England if you're not in England. It's on YouTube. It's Lucha something of it's like Lucha Hour Triple A. I need to start watching it, but they're just folks. If I didn't have to go to the place rhyming with twerk, and you already know my story with that at the minute, so I won't go over it. But yes, I would watch if I could do this. And again, this isn't like please subscribe to me so I could get paid for it. I'm just saying in general, guys. Look, I just being honest. I would like to do this for a living, and it's not a cry for help or anything. I'm going to do it, and I'm really trying hard. I want to do it the best I can, because I'm very passionate about it. And if I can't do it, then whatever, you know what I mean. But I'd at least rather give it a go and see what happens. But if I basically the point of that whole little diatribe was if I could do it, I would literally watch every wrestling show that is going. I would be watching New Japan, NXT. I'm trying to think what else. TNA, CMLL, which I always have to spell out. Raw, SmackDown, Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. I would start watching Rev Pro Wrestling. By the way, cheap plug. I'm going to get tickets to see them as well shortly. In fact, I might do that tonight actually. Yeah, and I would watch British wrestling. Basically, like wrestling would just be on 24/7 in this house, basically. So yeah, I would love to watch more if I could, but I just haven't got enough time at the minute, unfortunately. But yeah, there's Triple Mania Triple A. I think it's in October, something on that. I can't remember what the announcement was, but yeah, there we go. The Jacob Fatu Roman Reigns of it. Then, it was fine. I. It, out of all the not the Danhausen one, obviously, but the Danhausen one was just entertaining. You know what I mean? But like, out of all the matches, it would definitely be the red-headed stepchild out of the five for me. I just thought it was fine. I thought Jacob did whatever he could, and they've kind of protected Jacob because obviously they put him over and beating the living crap out of Roman Reigns. If they're not turning Roman Reigns heel, that comment at the end, and I hope they are going to turn him in the heel with the bloodline, Jimmy and Jay, obviously. If they're not turning him heel, what on God's name were they doing letting him make that comment last night? Of basically, for want of a better phrase, he said something along the lines of Jacob, you no longer work here anymore. Which is like obviously Roman's very, very high up in the company, and obviously he doesn't control it. But look, I mean, at the end of the day, he's cousins with The Rock. He's a movie star now. He's top drawing merch salesperson other than maybe Punk and maybe Danhausen at the minute, but he's one of the biggest stars in the world. He has an influence and he has a say. Um, it comes across as very dickish, to be honest. So I'm assuming we're getting heel Roman because I just don't know where you go with his character because he's super over, but like you can admire Roman Reigns, don't get me wrong, but like CM Punk's got like the never give up sort of attitude. Cody's got pure babyface kind of thing. Um, Kevin Owens can go between face and heel, and that's why people like it so much. He's very sarcastic and all that business. Sami Zayn can do exactly the same thing. They're both excellent at that. Danhausen has got his like weird comedy shtick thing that he does. Roman's just a badass, which is enough for some people. But if he then starts saying, "Oh, I'm gonna tell Triple H off you," it's just like, mate, seriously, like, don't be a dick, basically. So, I am assuming that they are trying to double turn Jacob Fatu and Roman because I'm not sure who the heel's meant to be. Because at the moment, the heel very much to me, sorry, looks like Roman Reigns. I mean, Jacob got a really, really loud ovation. I mean, maybe they can push him back on SmackDown. Maybe he can work a program with Cody. Maybe he is going to be. Cody will drop the belt, and then maybe Cody will go to Raw, and he'll start with Roman again. I don't know, but like, um, yeah, it was the match was fine. As I said, I don't remember much about the match, not because I was drunk. I don't remember much about the match because it just wasn't particularly entertaining. I thought Fatu did fine. He's definitely going to be a talent in the future. He is a talent now at the end of the day, but um, that comment from Roman that I saw this morning was like super, super weird because it's like, well, if you're meant to be a babyface, like literally saying, I mean, I'm paraphrasing obviously, but I'm going to tell Triple H and Nick Khan about you and get you fired. It's like, mate, what is all that about? Plus, as well, like, it does make me wonder whether they're setting up The Rock because it was so like, I'm going to speak to someone about this, and it's like, you can't imagine Triple H firing. I mean, obviously this is kayfabe, but you can't honestly imagine Triple H firing Jacob Fatu because Triple H was, as a character himself, was not exactly the nicest bloke in the world. Put it that way. But yeah, there we go. That was super super weird for me, but still. Anyway, so yeah, folks, I will go back to the comments, but just to say, I will be giving Backlash. I'm going to give it 7.5 out of 10. Thought it was very good. There was just a couple of. I thought the Braun match was excellent, but it could have been better given the talent that they've got. The Danhausen thing did make me laugh. I just thought they could have done with just having an old school character. So they should have just had in the. Obviously, when all the mini Hausens came out, they could have when they had the box, they could have just had like I don't know, like a reveal of like. I'm trying to think of something they could have had, to be honest, like um just someone. I mean, if Stone Cold Steve Austin had come out of the box, I mean, that would have been bloody hilarious. I mean, not that. Can you imagine Stone Cold Steve Austin? Like, oh, Steve, we've got this idea. Just be like, and the phone would just go down. But yeah, I just thought as if so. I was expecting it to be Joe Hendry. That was my prediction. But yes, slot. Can we fire on a slot? That was yeah, you might have seen my short, but that was doing the rounds in my brain yesterday. Yeah, so I'll give Backlash 7 out of 10 and match of the night for me easily. I know people will say Breaker, which I totally get if that's your match, or Rio, which I thought was excellent. I'm giving it to Trick Williams versus Sami Zayn. For my money, I thought it was a superb exhibition of wrestling, personally for me. But there you go. Anyway, right, I should get back to the comments, but just to let you know, guys, I've not got anything scheduled for tomorrow, but obviously I'm having the problems with twerk at the minute. So if you do see me on a live stream, it's probably just me venting basically. So I might be on tomorrow, possibly after twerk. But if not, I'll be back on for the Monday Night Raw reaction show, and now I can do it upstairs. Might not be 10:30 anymore. Actually, I need to give a good think about that. Because the great thing is now, in fact, I'll show you. Check this out. The really, really great thing is this. I need to go to bed. Oh look, there it is. By the way, folks, if you want to see what I'm going on with a minute, that's my sleep apnea machine. I know, yeah, wanted to see it the other day. So yeah, if you're still on, that's my little machine. And then I've not got the mask in. You see that tube? Basically, that tube goes from there. And you can't quite see it because the mask has fallen down a bloody thing somewhere. Basically, yeah, I've got to shove this mask over my face so I look like bloody um I look like bloody Kane when he first started in WWE. You know what I mean? Literally, my son came the first time, and I forgot to tell him I had the mask on because he has to come and wake me up and this, that, and the other on the weekends. I turned over, I was like, "Good morning, son." He was like, "Ah, what the?" I was like, "It's me." He was like, "Oh my god, thank God for that." But yeah, basically. And if you want to see as well, those are my movie posters, by the way. In fact, I'll show you how the room's getting on, guys, because I've changed it around a little bit. So this is what I mean. This is why I like being up here now. I'm just trying to think if I got anything dodgy that shouldn't be on display. I don't think I have. There we go. So Funkos were all over here now. These are my Funkos. So I can do a live stream from there. That that area is the thing I've discovered with discussed with yeah. Those are where certain boxes are being kept. Nudge, wink, which I have been stealing from a certain place. That's my horror section. So I've got loads of horror stuff there. That's my toys. So I've had to sort out of them recently as well. Got all my Marvel stuff up there. That's Spider-Man hanging from a glass window. In fact, let me just hold it like this. Just hold it in my hand. Oh, as well, yeah, as well. This is the thing that I was telling you to do with twerk. And the replacement for twerk. Those are envelopes and lots of paper, stamps, and parcel tape. If you smell what the Rock is cooking, that's Tekla, the best professional wrestler in the world, who wrestles for AEW, who I'm completely obsessed with. Um, she looks a bit like Mrs. Meta, actually. In fact, that's what Mrs. Meta looked like earlier when I'd done something wrong. But yes, there we go. What else can I show you? So this corner now, because obviously some of you guys would have seen this before. Obviously this was my sort of Liverpool area, so I've got all my Liverpool stuff here. That's where I keep all my notes of what I'm doing, all my vlogs and stuff. There we go. Yes, all my Liverpool stuff's here. The rest of the wrestling stuff, by the way, is there. So I've got action figures. Those are all my books. God rest that guy. Rest in peace, Bray. And yeah, there you go. That's my AEW program. That bit in the corner, yeah, is also mysterious boxes, which obviously I have not stolen from Twerk, and also aren't going to be used for anything else. Obviously, nudge, wink, wink. That's all my clothes. So there's like Liverpool stuff here. That's a Chainsaw Man hat. That's one of my favourite hats. That is the Millennium Falcon from 1984. Yes, that Millennium Falcon is indeed 42 years old, so that's very, very special. And I will be selling it for millions of pounds one day, hopefully. And finally, that's the Joker. There you go. So you can get a little room tours. I'll show you the posters actually a little bit. So this is where I sleep, obviously. Optimus. This is my favourite poster that I've got. The Friday the 13th. Obviously, I'm a massive horror movie fan, and this is just awesome. Yeah, there we go. Spidey posters there. Thunderbolts. That's my Miles Morales one. That's one of my favourites as well. That's from the second Spider-Verse movie. Anyway, moving swiftly on. So yes, let me set you back up here. And yeah, there you go. Hello again. So yeah, why was I showing you around my room for? I need to go to bed, folks. I've got no idea. Come on, brain, reboot. Right. So yes. Just very quickly this week, and sorry guys, I will get onto the comments. Sorry for being rude. I do apologise, but I like to start listening because I know I had a bit of stick about this at the start. I wasn't very good at the comments, but I like to do comments and stuff with people about 40, 45 minutes. But then obviously I'm conscious that people on podcasts want to like hear about the thing that they've tuned in for and this, that, and the other. So I'm trying to get that balance kind of thing. I'm still working on it. So yeah, if I am ignoring comments, that's the reason why, basically, because I just can't process all the information in my head at the same time. Just to say what's coming up this week, just very, very quickly. So, like I said, I might be on tomorrow, depending on twerk. Monday Night Raw, I've got scheduled for 10:30, but now I can do this up here. Uh, Let me have a think about it. I need to have a conversation with Mrs. Better to see if I've woken up the household. I haven't had an angry knock at the door, so I'm assuming I'm okay at the minute. Wednesday, is there anything on? In fact, aren't Man City playing on Wednesday? Oh, Man City playing on Wednesday. They're playing on Tuesday or something like that. I forget. There's some sort of match in midweek. In fact, just bear me a second first, just because I'm just out of interest. Let me just have a look. I'm definitely going to be doom scrolling Real Madrid this evening. That just sorry, I just really do not like Real Madrid at all, to be honest. I've just clicked onto BBC Sport. Yeah, the headline is biggest VAR call ever. 4 chaotic minutes that may define the. Oh, it's kicked off as well. Proper kicked off. Um, West Ham are not happy. Um, for that could be interesting. They're not pleased. Put it that way. Let me have a look. Football scores this week. In fact, what football have we got this week? Let me have a look. I always hate this time of the year as well because, like, it's good because I've got stuff. I've always got something to do. Like, San Diego Comic Con, and obviously I've got wrestling every week. So when I miss the football, I know the foot people really struggle without football. I'm I'm kind of okay. Yeah, I miss Liverpool playing. Obviously, I mean, I will happily have a month off Liverpool at the minute, to be honest. But just this year, um, obviously you've got the World Cup. Oh, that's what I forgot to tell you. Right, folks. I am going all over the place now, but remember I talked about these guys and I said I might be going to see them? Well, it is confirmed. I will be going to see the mighty Ghana. We are playing at the Cardiff City Stadium on June the 2nd, I believe it is. So I haven't planned this out yet. I'm going to start doing some research because obviously I research every city that I go to and stuff. I think the plan is me and the bro are going to Telford, which is where we were all from in the Midlands, basically. Uh, I think we're going on the Monday night. Then the bro's going to drive us from Telford because Telford's like not on the border with Wales, but it's not a million miles away. Basically, like you've got Telford, then you've got Shrewsbury, and then you've got like Church Stretton and people like that, and then you're into Wales. I think it's going to take 2 hours, something along them lines. So we'll be in Cardiff. I don't know, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that on match day. Obviously, it goes without saying there will be a vlog and shorts. There will definitely be for Ghana. So anyone who follows me for Ghana, I'm super, super excited about this. Obviously, as you all know, Ghana means a lot to me because that's where my dad was from, and obviously um, died 28 years ago, but still missing to this day. And it's one of the only things football that like makes me remember my father. So just to see his team play in Britain, even if we lose to Wales, which I mean obviously will be a difficult match, but it'll just be brilliant to see Ghana over here. I'd like to see Ghana play in Ghana one day. That's going to require a lot of planning because another thing with GAD is you are prone to panic attacks and anxiety. I am not the best flyer, and I have not been on a flight of any description since my diagnosis. Um, I don't want to freak out a plane full of people by having a panic attack, to be honest. I'm going to need to work that out. Mind you, though, stupidly enough, you can get, like, obviously not ferries direct to Ghana. You'd have to go, not somewhere in the Mediterranean and go to Africa. That stupidly, couldn't tell you why, doesn't bother me at all. Conversely, Mrs. Meta doesn't like sailing, doesn't like what do you call it, going up boat basically. And it just doesn't bother me at all. It's like well, if you fall out the sky and your plane smacks against the bloody wall, I mean, you're buggered basically. If you're in the water, I mean, obviously, if you're in the middle of the bloody Atlantic Ocean, I mean, you're pretty screwed. But like, you've kind of still got a chance of some description. I mean, you'd probably freeze, but at least you'd have more of a. Anyway, that's a horribly depressing subject to talk about, but you know what I mean. So, I would love to go and see Ghana play in Accra, which is the capital city of Ghana. Very much, it's near Black Star Square, as obviously Ghanaian fans will know. Um, the last time I went to see a Ghanaian football match was at the Accra Sports Stadium, I think it was called, in 1991. And my only memory of that, because I was 10 at the time, was I asked to go. I've told this on my Ghana shorts actually. I asked the people there, because obviously I didn't speak Ghanaian. Well, I don't now, obviously. And asked the people there, like, "Excuse me, sir," and they were like, "Yes, little boy. Where do you go to the toilet, please?" And they all started laughing at me. I was like, "Oh, what have I said?" And they was like, "Oh, you should go outside." I was like, "Go outside?" I thought, "Oh, there'll be like a latrine outside, or like a, one of them temporary chemical toilet things." So I go outside, and I've never seen anything like it. I mean, it was just because I was like probably not the most well travelled at that point. I mean, I was only like 9 years old, so obviously I was used to like Western this, that, and the other. And long story short, there were 20 blokes pissing against the wall, fully out, not bothered, in a line, as if it was a urinal. And I'm like, I don't want to wee against the wall. And there were all these big men, and the bloke I'd spoke to said, along the lines of, "Ah, the little boy, there you go, you piss against." I was just like, what are we doing? What is going on? So yeah, I too had to wee against the wall. And then I ended up in that stadium on my own for about 3 hours, because my family, Ghanaian family, which is a whole other story, kind of just left me there, and then I had to wait for everyone to come out, and then they just randomly turned up and said, "Oh, you are here after all." And I'm like, "I've only been in the country like a week. I don't know where anything is," kind of thing. But yeah, that's whoa dear. First name just not standard. That is a whole other level of conversation. Not suitable for broadcast at the moment, but yes, I might well expand on that story one day. What was I telling you about? Oh yeah, football. Right. So tomorrow, that we'll be interested in, not for today reasons. Tottenham versus Leeds, which is obviously where I'm from. Um, oh, we've got the bottom six playoff thingy in Scotland. If anyone's interested in that, we have Southampton versus Middlesbrough. Do you know, by the way, I'm gutted that Hull and Millwall are in the same thing. I don't mean this rudely. As a Yorkshireman, I don't have a problem with it being Hull getting into the Premier League. For again, the reasons that I spoke about earlier in relating to my what I look like basically, and my memories of Millwall. I know it's changed, and I'm sure they're not all as perceived, but I would not particularly like Liverpool to be going to the Den personally, ideally, but it is what it is. So if but if Middlesbrough Southampton would be really good. I'd actually quite like Borough to go up, just because then you've got, you remember back in the day you had Middlesbrough, Newcastle and Sunderland. There was like a northeast thing. There was one season, I think they all finished in the top seven or something like that. It was absolutely insane. But yeah, Southampton Middlesbrough is Tuesday. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. Right, your big thing is on Wednesday, Manchester City are playing Crystal Palace at 8 o'clock. So obviously they can go back 2 points behind you, but then obviously that's the game in hand. The game in hand's gone. You've got. Shouldn't we have Hull versus? Celtic Motherwell. That looks decent actually. Where is Hull versus Millwall? Have we had it? Let me have a look. Tuesday, Monday. Oh no, sorry. Millwall on Hull are playing tomorrow night, same time as Tottenham, basically. Uh, right. Tuesday is Man City, Crystal Palace. Top six of Scotland. You've got Bradford versus Bolton. That's right in the corner from me. Do you know what? Bradford's very, very close to me actually, and I don't think their tickets. No, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I am quite tempted to go and see Bradford versus Bolton. Aston Villa versus Liverpool, unfortunately, is on Friday, which is completely unhelpful. Thank you very much, Villa, for that. And then yeah, it's the FA Cup final while I'm in Liverpool. Which is Chelsea versus Man City, which is not great, is it? But still, yeah. Just going back to the schedule, guys, quickly. Sorry, I'm really am waffling on. I'll get back to the comments. Yeah. So Monday Night Raw on Tuesday. Leave the time with us because now, like I said, I can start doing it a little bit earlier now because I think this has worked and I think the reception. I'm looking at myself looks okay. So yeah. Um, Thursdays, AW Dynamite again. So leave the times with us just at the minute, and I'll update and see what can crack off. Friday, that's going to be weird because Liverpool are playing Aston Villa, but it is my birthday the next day, so technically I don't actually have to be up, strictly speaking. Um, because I think Mrs. Meta might be off. I'm not sure. I'll have to let you know about that. Basically, long story short, I'm going to be going to the gym on the Friday straight after work. Um, Going for my wellness walk that I usually do, which I'm sure you're not remotely bothered about. And then after that, I'm going to go into town and basically watch most of the second half. I don't think I'll be back in time for the first half. But I should be able to watch the second. So, long story short, I might be able to do live reaction from the streets of Leeds. And I did have an idea about this earlier. You know, I take you around Leeds in the midweek. I might take you a bit further afield and show you the entirety of Leeds on a Friday night. It's an experience. In fact, I'm quite tempted to see if I can put you in a bar. But yes, leave that one with us. And then yeah, just to finish off, folks. Next, so this Saturday coming. Obviously, it's my birthday. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday, Geek Boy Matter. Um, I'll be going to Liverpool probably about 3 o'clock, and then for want of a better phrase, I will be drinking pretty much the entire day from 3 o'clock in the afternoon till about 3 o'clock in the morning. There will be some content. It might not be the most grammatically correct if you follow my meaning. Yes, there might be some semi-amusing shots of me dancing and doing other things, which I'm sure will amuse my son greatly. Sunday, I'll still be in Liverpool, so I'm going to do a live stream from Anfield, which should be good. Looking forward to that. And basically, I'll be taking you around Liverpool City Centre. I'm going to go to some geek places. Oh, I've actually got, that's reminded me. Would you believe, on my birthday weekend, because you guys who have followed me for a few years now know I love my Comic Cons. Would you believe on the Sunday there is actually a Comic Con in Liverpool, and I'm absolutely very very happy about that. I'm just trying to pull it up now. I'll do that on my own time basically, but yes, there is a Comic Con, so there might also be a Comic Con vlog and shorts that night. So there is going to be a boatload of content coming up. Toy shorts. I'm hoping to try and get to as many geek shops as well. I'm going to go to Forbidden Planet. Worlds Apart in Liverpool, which is really, really cool. If you go to Liverpool, by the way, I'd thoroughly recommend Worlds Apart. It's a really good geek shop. Sorry, I'm just going to type in Liverpool Comic Con. Let me just type in May. Let me have a look. Right, nothing's come up in a minute, so I will update you guys about that. But yeah, basically, if I can get tickets, I think it's one you can just walk into. Plus, it is my birthday, and my family have said, well, not whatever I want, obviously, but they have basically said, well, we can buy you stuff on the day. So I'm just going to say, I want to go in there, pay for me to go in, and also give me £5 for a lager, basically. So yeah, Sunday will be very busy, and then Monday I'm either staying over in Liverpool or in Manchester. I'm not sure because I've not booked it yet. Because I'm actually going to do something very irresponsible. I'm going to go out basically drinking when my family have left, and also try and book a hotel at the same time. So this could I might do a little vlog of that as well, but this could go very, very horribly wrong. But to be honest, Liverpool is a million miles away from Leeds, so I'm not going to get stranded at the end of the day. There's coaches that take you back to Leeds, so I can't really, really mess it up, but it could go slightly south, basically. And then I'll be back on Monday night. And then back to work, unfortunately. But at the end of that week, I'm then off for 3 days, going back to Liverpool for WWE, which will be very, very cool. And yes, I'm also staying in Liverpool then as well. So yeah, very, very cool stuff coming up. Also, as well, I've just been thinking because I come back from Liverpool on the Friday. I think on the Saturday it's York Pride because I like going to the Pride events and stuff with my family. It's something that we've done for a few years. Leeds has a really good Pride event actually. It's usually in July. If you're ever around in Leeds, I'd thoroughly recommend it. It's for a really good time. Lots of lovely people there. Um, not July. May the 31st is York Pride, so I'm going to try and live stream that, and knows that I'll get loads of abuse by weirdos and shut-ins, but I mean, frankly, they can go themselves. Ally. Um, and why was I telling you that for? Oh, yes, on that day, basically, I've just discovered that WWE are running Clash in Italy. But because it's in Italy, we can actually get the pay-per-view in England at like 7 o'clock. Hooray! Brilliant. So I need to get from York. Actually, that's a good point, actually. So I'm going to Liverpool, spending the next day in Liverpool, getting back here in the early hours of Saturday, having 4 hours sleep, then going to York, then coming back, then going to watch WWE. Then it's June, then I go back to work for one day, then I go to Telford with my brother, then the next day I go to Cardiff with my brother to see Ghana versus Cardiff, Ghana versus Wales, night out in Cardiff, and then the next day I travel all the way back from Cardiff to Leeds. I think it's roughly something along them lines. So yeah, next month should be the next few weeks should be really cool. Actually. Anyway, I just splashed water on my own face. That's me without glasses, by the way. I literally can't see anything. Right, guys. my trick again, haven't I? Can you hear me now, guys? Oh no. Oh no, how long have I been waffling for? Hello, guys. Hello. When did I flick that, by the way? Yeah, that's humiliating again. Hello, yeah, hello. Let's hope Mrs. Better comes and tells me yes, no. So, oh, guys, I'm so sorry. So sorry. So sorry. Um, I don't even remember. Was it when I was showing you around the room that it went off? 10 minutes ago. Oh my good God Almighty! Well, at least it gets my watch hours up. But yes, anyway. There we go. Sorry, folks. I do apologise. When the video comes out, I will um audio dub it in like Spanish or something like that. I don't know. I can't speak Spanish. Yes, I'm really sorry that no one heard me for 10 minutes. Oh my God! Oh my. Look, at least it's giving people a laugh at the end of the day. Where I'm sat there going. So yes, thank you for sticking with me, folks. Right, I think at this point, and hello Boris, by the way, as well. Hope you're all right, mate. I thought it was. Yeah, yeah. I must have just flicked it. I don't know why I keep doing that. Probably it's probably because I'm horrendously fucking stupid, basically. But yeah, I will tell the people at work tomorrow. That will give them a good laugh, I'm sure. Twerk, sorry, not the W word, obviously. Um, yes. Yeah, I'll have to speak to Lily again because I don't know if Lily was going to the Liverpool Comic Con that I'm going to. Have I misread that? I don't know. Um, let's have a look. It was when you were showing. You looked happy while you were waffling away. I just did something quite emotional. Actually, I was telling everyone the story about bloody nearly dying in Ghana. Actually, funnily enough. I'll tell you the story another time, folks. I'll tell you the story another time. Speaking of which, guys, I am actually going to unfortunately like be wrapping up because obviously I do need to go to twerk tomorrow, and this was kind of the point now of me doing this upstairs because basically, as you know, like I just showed you a minute ago, my bed is there, and the trouble is when I was doing this, obviously I was conscious I didn't want to wake the family up, but they both told me they can't hear me upstairs, which means I can do it here, which means I can say goodnight to them at like 9, and I can start doing this at like 9 o'clock, 9:30, and then basically all I have to do. Oh look, I want to go to sleep. There we go. Jump in there. Job done. Which is what I'm going to do basically. In fact, oh, I'm sorry, Boris. I'm sorry, but no, like I said, I'm not going yet, mate. I'm going to stick on for another couple of minutes. But yeah, I will definitely be going to that venue that I just showed you a minute ago. How you doing, mate? You all right? Yeah, like I said, Boris, I'll be on for a few minutes anyway. Just quickly, folks. Yeah, I was waffling. Um, Lily, when she was, I don't know if Lily's still, I'm guessing Lily is on. When Lily was on, did she mean that she was going to the Liverpool Comic Con, or was she on about an American one? Um, if anyone knows, I'm trying to see when this Comic Con thing is as well. There's definitely one this weekend because basically, here we go. Right, it's called. If anyone's interested, the Geek Bazaar at the Liner Hotel. So the Geek Bazaar at the Liner Hotel. Ooh, 10 till 10 a.m. till 4 p.m. £5 entry. Under 10s get in for free with an adult. So all I need to do is get one of those like really small coats and like go on my knees and pretend I'm a child, so I get free entry. I don't think that's a good idea, but still. But yeah, folks, I reckon it's doable. The reason why people that have just joined, basically the reason why I'm wanting to do that is I'm actually in Liverpool this weekend, Boris. Basically, so um, and I'm going out on the lash with my family, for want of a better phrase. I think we're having one meal before a takeaway later on the night, so it's going to. There might not be too much footage on my channel on Saturday night, put it that way, but you might see me of me shaking my arse in a nightclub somewhere. So I apologise about that if you have to see that disgusting footage. As Chadwick Boseman once said, delete that footage. Um, But yeah, no, the next day while I'm in Liverpool, there's actually this awesome looking Comic Con. So when I finish with you guys, I'm gonna have a look on YouTube, which defeats the whole object from me being up here because I know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to be researching it for 2 hours, which was the whole idea was I get an early sleep, which I'm now not going to do. But yeah, I will be doing. But you know, on the channel sometimes those of you, obviously, I'm sure you guys have seen before. You know, I put all my Comic Con stuff on. Obviously, it's another big passion. I mean, I don't talk about the Comic Con stuff because it's like obviously it's visual more than anything, but like it's after Liverpool and WWE, it's like the whole geek culture and stuff with toy collecting. I absolutely love it. I love going to Comic Cons. It's just, I think it's just nice being in a room of people that are like, you know what I mean, who are unabashed kind of thing. Because there's people dressed as bloody, I don't know. There's a really, really cool young lady in Leeds who gets dressed up. I don't know if you guys have seen Silent Hill. The monster, is she called Triangle Head or something? But this woman's literally got the actual triangle head, and the poor girl, she's about like I don't know, about that big basically. And she's carrying around this massive head and this, that, and the other. And honestly, it's so good. I mean, there's a fella dresses up as a Huggy Wuggy. There's a bloke that gets dressed up as Bumblebee, as in it's an actual moving Bumblebee suit, which is amazing. There's people getting dressed up as Sailor Moon, Iron Man, Spidey, Batman, you name it, this, that, and the other. So, yes, yeah, no, I love going basically. So, yeah, I will be doing a vlog and shorts about that as well. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I was going to show you something here actually, another visual thing, but I don't know where I put it now. Where have I put it? I have no idea. I was going to show you a comic book actually. Nope. I've managed to lose my comic books. That's it. Yes. Anyway, there we go. Yeah, I have no idea. Don't worry about it. No, I found it out. Yeah, that's fine. Boris. Oh, here's a little scoop for you. The box match for All In was CNC, but plans have changed because of New Day. I've heard about that, Boris. Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting, Boris. To be honest. Hello, Finn, as well. Bloody, everyone's turning up now. Hi, Finn. How you doing? You're all right, mate. I recommended your channel, young man, about 40 minutes ago. So when you're famous, don't forget about your fans. Not going to stay. I'm tired. That's all right. That's all right, Finn. I'm heading off in a few minutes anyway. I've been on waffling on for 2 hours, and I will probably have to stop shortly because I know Mrs. Meta said she couldn't hear me, but like obviously noises travel and time is getting gone, and basically I don't want the wife to beat me up on a live stream. To be honest, let's have a look. Yeah, no, Boris, I think it's going to be super interesting because I saw the Motor City Machine Guns contract is meant to be coming up. I don't know what the show is, but AW, the show AW's running. So I want to say it's like mid-July or something like that. Is in Detroit. The day before that, and obviously that's where Motor City Machine Guns are from. The day before their 3 month, whatever you call it, the 3 month, you know what I mean, where the non-compete clause, it's up the day before. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, AEW's tag division. I really liked AEW's tag division about 2 years ago. I mean, it's still good now. Don't get me wrong, but it's like I'm not sure about a couple of the teams. If they could get the New Day and the Motor City Machine Guns, I mean, that would be quality, absolute quality. If they could get Kyrie and Oscar now as well, I mean, I mean, some of the possibilities now. I mean, if I'm Tony Khan, if Oscar is available, I'm on the phone to her agent right now because I mean, you've got Oscar versus Tony Storm, you've got Mercedes versus Tony Storm, you've got Mercedes versus Oscar, you've got Oscar versus Tekla. That would be insane because they are both two mad women basically, but two mad women who are very good wrestlers. So, Night, yeah. Thank you for everything again. Yeah, thank you for all the support and everything. Cheers. Have a good night's sleep and. Congratulations to the Premier League champions. Mm. But yeah, no, Boris. Honestly, some of the talent that's out there now for AEW. I mean, yeah, I mean, Oscar, the AEW, Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, I've heard. Have you heard the rumors about Alistair Black that like everyone was saying, haha, these rumors are, oh, don't be silly, that will never happen. Apparently, like, there's now people saying we aren't sure if these are rumors anymore. And I was really surprised about that because I thought, well, after what kicked off last time, surely Alistair Black would not go back to AEW. But apparently, this is a thing. I mean, the trouble is with Alistair now. I mean, you can't really reform the House of Black. I mean, I suppose you could have Brody back, but Brody's out there doing his own thing. He's doing really well as a single. Obviously, Julia's in Triangle of Madness with Blue Sky and Tekla, and that's doing really well at the minute. Buddy Matthews is still, I think he's coming back soon, but he's still injured. So I mean, unless you have Ali Black and Zelina as a, I don't know, as a duo, which I guess you could do. But I wrote about this a while ago, Boris, to be honest, and like the trouble that someone like Alistair Black has got, it's I just don't know where he fits in either AEW or WWE. If Alistair Black had turned up, and I genuinely do mean this, if Alistair Black had turned up, maybe not the Attitude Era, if he'd have turned up in the Ruthless Aggression era, and say if the small wrestlers had broken through by that point, if he turned up in the Ruthless Aggression era, which I know a lot of people who watch now, that was their version of the Attitude Era. I mean, yeah, yikes. Um, in terms of the depth of talent, which was not great at the time, for being completely honest with ourselves, he would have been a bloody star, an absolute star. And the trouble is now, I mean, you've got these outstanding wrestlers like Alistair Black and Shinsuke Nakamura. He didn't even lose his job, I don't think. But like, where is he? What's going on? You know what I mean? This is actual Shinsuke Nakamura, who is one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, and he can't even get onto the bloody card. You know what I mean? So I just think that's Ali Black's problem. There's just so many other people who aren't necessarily better than him, but it's just so tough now. I mean, I don't know where he goes. I mean, TNA is. I'm not going to say WWE light, obviously, but I mean, obviously they have a business relationship. I wouldn't be surprised if he turns up at New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, I reckon the Japanese would really respect it, especially with the martial arts background as well, which is obviously not a bit generic, but obviously they have huge respect in Japan for like the martial arts experts, especially in pro wrestling as well. I could definitely see him. I always get this wrong. Kurikon Hall, I think it is the big Japanese place where they do. I have completely forgot their big pay per view. This is why I need to go to bed, folks. I forgot what the New Japan Pro Wrestling bloody thing is. What is their main pay per view called? I've completely forgot. That's really embarrassing, actually. But yeah, no, I reckon I wouldn't be surprised at all if Alistair Black turned up at New Japan. To be honest, right? Yeah, but in terms of the New Day, Boris, I mean, do you know what? I've been thinking about this. I suppose you've got to bring them in both at the same time if they're going to be a tag. I'm not sure if it's not a better idea having them as singles, you know, because I mean, Woods used to work. Obviously, I mean, he was Consequences Creed. For those of you who don't know, Xavier Woods actually started off in TNA. That's how he got his start. I mean, obviously, he was on the Indies because Woods has been working for a long, 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 long time. And but obviously, he's got the inbuilt friendship with Kenny Omega. That was the first thing I thought of because obviously, him and the Bucks play like video games, like tournaments and proper championships and stuff. Um, whether you could do something with them in the I'm not saying have them in the elite, obviously, but obviously they do have that relationship, so maybe you could do something with that. I mean, with Kofi there, I mean, if Kofi's actually treated with respect, they have got an absolute megastar there, an absolute megastar. But I don't know. You'd probably likely to bring them in as a heel tag team, I guess, which would probably make more sense. But I reckon they could do it as singles. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Right, folks, I am basically knackered and I've been on for 2 hours. So thanks for everyone who's tuned in late. Really sorry about the not not any sound again. I do apologise. This, that, and the other. I will try and stop doing it, folks. Like I said, I'm an old man pressing buttons that I shouldn't be pressing, basically. So yeah. Thanks everyone for watching. Genuinely to Boris, yeah, Finn, DT, Lily, um, all the other people that have been supportive of me, who drop in every now and again. Messages mean a lot. Kindness means a lot, and just thank you, everyone. Genuinely, it's nice having a little group of community, a little group of friends that seem to like what I do. So genuinely, thank you very, very much. Right then, guys, I will see you. Like I said, I might go on a little rant tomorrow, but I've not planned a live stream. Tomorrow is going to be a very interesting day because of twerk. I will leave that where it lies. If not, I will be see you next for Monday Night Raw reaction, which might be a bit earlier now. Now I've done this, and it looks like I can get reception up here. Yay! And I've now got a background as well. I'm very happy about this. Cool. Right. Have a fantastic week, everyone. And I will see you for birthday week next week. Right. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.